Hello, my name is David Webb and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. My opponent's gone first and scored 52 for Zainab. I have 5 vowels, so I don't think I have a bingo. Certainly don't have a 7-letter bingo. And looking at the floaters in Zainab, I can't see an 8. What I can see, though, is a way of resolving my preponderance of vowels. Eel for 30. And I now have 6 consonants, which isn't great. But with all the vowels on the board, I should be able to play my way through this. I could play pard, parallel to Zainab, and above it with the P over the E. And I've got drap, parallel to eel with the D next to the E. That's probably not quite as good as pard because it does open up row O. I'm just checking to see if I have a bingo through any of the vowels. There aren't many bingos, 8-letter words with just 2 vowels, but there are some. And I do have the land prefix, or suffix rather. Few takes out the spot I had for pard. So what's left is drap. Which is only 24 points. The leave isn't great and it is opening up row O. So I'm not overly enamoured of this move. Just wondering if there's anything better that I've missed. I certainly want to play off one of the R's. I wonder if I can just play through that E. So let's see what Pedlar scores. Pedlar's 18. And the leave is better. NR is certainly better than LNR. And this doesn't open up row O. Again, I have just the 1 vowel. I have the J, so I should be able to score. I have the word jury on my rack. Not sure if that goes anywhere. Let's see what my opponent opens up. Pedlar has really obstructed the number of available floating vowels, which would be useful with this rack. So apart from jury, what else do I have with the J? There's jut. Pungy onto the I of Zainab. That, I think, is going to be the play. Pungy for 28 points. Great, it's not blocked. And the leave isn't terrible, that's 28 points, and snag has not opened up any better opportunities for me. Now this looks like a balanced rack, but with the U and the V, I don't have a bingo. Looking at the scores, I'm 23 points behind. It's my opponent to go next, so I'll probably be about 50 points behind, which isn't terrible at this early stage of the game. But I would like to keep scoring. Now the three problem tiles on my rack are the U, the V and the Y. So I'm looking to play off as many of those as possible. Einstein, that's a nice play by my opponent. He opens up the triple word square at A8 if I've got a 6-letter word ending in E, which I do have. I have out thy, and that places the V on the double letter square, and it uses the U and the V, so it does play off two of my bad tiles. That's 39 points. Is there anything better? I've got yurt parallel to snag, but that's only 27 points. I'm not going to score more than 39. And this is looking better. I don't have a bingo, but these tiles go fairly well together, so I won't have any difficulty scoring. I'll be looking to play off the Y and one of the C's. Gosh, that's nice by my opponent, Vanisher. Just check that it's good. It is. My opponent has now stormed away to a 130 point lead, but I need to focus on my own rack, and I've got Recce, which clears out all the high scoring tiles. The leave isn't fantastic, 2 vowels, 1 consonant. The A and the O don't go really well together, but 39 points is a lot, and it keeps the board wide open. So is there anything better than that? It's a shame I'm playing off the E. There are only 5 of them left. But there is a floating E in Vanisher. And my rack has swung back to being heavily vowel heavy, which was a slight risk of retaining 2 vowels and 1 consonant. And I don't have a bingo. So I'm looking to carry on scoring and carrying on resolving my rack to the best I can. So where are the scoring opportunities on this board? I have Urari through the R of Vanisher, but that's only 15 points, and it keeps both O's. I'd like to play off at least one of the O's and the U. And I'd like to avoid a vowel heavy leave, but that may not be possible. I've got Ureo down from A4 for 18 points. I've got meow parallel to snag, M-I-A-O-U, and that leaves O-R, so that certainly addresses the vowel heaviness, and it scores quite well. 25 points. And I think that plays above Vanisher as well, placing the M over the I. for over 30 points. Well, that's good. I have 2 alternate plays, both of which work. Looking at the scores, I'm just under 200 points behind, sorry, just under 100 points behind, but it is my opponent to go next. So I am more than a bingo adrift in this game, but I just need to focus on playing the winningest move I can with each rack, because it's out of my control what my opponent's tiles are. There's still both blanks left, so it's not impossible to recover from a 100-point deficit. But my opponent would certainly be the favourite to win this game. Although Meow above Vanisher scores more than the other location, it does take out a lot of floaters. So if both spots stay available, I'd need to recheck the scores and consider which is best, which is better. So it's 25 for the play next to Snag, and 34 above Vanisher. Okay, I've made my mind up. will definitely be going for the highest score. Wondering if I could play parallel to Zuil to the left, placing the M next to the first O and playing down onto the double word square at M3. I can't see a play that goes in that spot, but were one to exist it would score well. Now my opponent's taking a little while with this move, so he may well have a blank and be looking for a third successive bingo. No? Well, he doesn't play it. He does take out my higher scoring spot for Meow, but fortunately I have got another one. $25 points. And this isn't great. The board is closing down. It was 2 moves ago. The board was wide open, but my move and my opponent's last move have really taken out quite a lot of floaters and bingo lanes. But it's not a totally tight board, and my focus needs to be on playing off the cue. Wow, 98 points for my opponent. That's a terrific play. What can I do with my cue? Well, there is a floating U in out Vi. But I'm not sure that I've got... Well, I've got quad, Q-U-O-D, but that leaves double R, T-W, which is a terrible leave. And quad only scores 18 points. So changing would be preferable to quad. Do I have any playable alternatives to quad? Not that I can see, so I'm going to change my tiles. There's only 1 R left, so I will keep an R. There are 3 T's, so I will not keep one of those. And I draw a blank, which is good. So, do I have a bingo, and does it play? There's the floating Y of recce. Can't see anything through that. And then there are the floating O and U of out Vi. I would have anorexia through an N or an A. Now the X does go with vowels, and my opponent opens up a bingo lane in column 14. So if I had a 7-letter bingo, it's possible that it would play. So I just need to mentally run through the alphabet for the blank. I'm up to T and I haven't seen anything. No, I can't see any 7s. So is there anything onto the Y of recce? Not that I can see. Okay, well, is there a high scoring spot for my X? I think there is. Well, let's see what this scores. Ox for 45 points. Now, if there is a bingo available, Ox might actually be a winninger play, because the tiles that are left are very bingo-y. And looking at the remaining tiles, there's no A's left, there's only 2 E's, there's only 1 I. So although I'm keeping 3 vowels, I'm unlikely to draw 2 more. Let's see. Well, I draw the second blank, which is, well, annoying is the wrong word, but it would have been nicer to play a bingo and then draw the blank, because that would increase my chances of another bingo. My opponent plays Cubite, which is very nice. So, what is the best bingo available? I've got Airiest in column 14, placing the A next to the T of verdant. So what would be better than that would probably be a bingo playing onto the Y of recce. And having 2 blanks, it's very difficult to run through the alphabet because there's about 500 choices for the 2 blanks. So I'm just going to see if inspiration strikes. I'm sort of running through the alphabet once with and leaving the other blank as a blank. I'm sure there's something there. Are there any other good lanes available? Verdant doesn't take anything in front of it. So a word ending in Y could well end ly or ILY. If it was ly, the blank would be an L. And the remaining letters don't look promising. Actually, I'm not sure that there is a bingo ending in a Y. So I'm going to play Airiest. And I will draw 7 of the remaining 8 tiles. Airiest. And I don't have a bingo. There's one tile in the bag, so I'm going to be looking to play out in 2. I can't use the Q because I don't have an I or a U. My opponent's rack is going to be pretty awful, particularly if the I is in the bag. But I doubt that he's too bothered by that, as he has a 160-point lead. Just wondering if I can play in column 15, placing the H at L15 on the double letter square. Well, I could play Hoed, H-O-E-D. That would leave GLT. I could play Glut through either the U of Cubite or the U of Out Vi. So that would be my preferred move at the moment. What else is available? Well, I can just play through the U of Cubite a word like lock, L-O-U-G-H, for 18 points, and that would leave Ted. I'm sure there's many places I could play that. Louted in row B would put the D on the triple letter square at B6. Just making sure I don't have a bingo. There is the floating O of Out Vi. I'm close to a bingo, close to theology. Well, close to a number of bingos which I don't actually have. Okay, Hoed is not blocked. I'm miles behind, so I'm not going to plunge into in-depth searching for the absolute best outplay. I do note though that both of my spots for Glut have been taken, so do I now have an outplay? I should pause to consider that. Not sure I do, so maybe Hoed isn't, well, 47 points is a lot. Yeah, I think the points is enough to justify it. Maybe there is somewhere I can play my GL and T. No, I don't think there is. I've got TIG, T-Y-G, through the Y of Reki. Is my opponent going out? He's got G-I-R-W on his rack. He's got just under 7 minutes on his clock. Turks was quite a good play in terms of blocking my 2-move out. So do I have anything better than Tig? Well, Tig is 7. God in row N is 9, so that's better. Is there really nothing better than 9 points? Maybe Hode wasn't such a great play. Oh, maybe it wasn't the best play. I'm not sure I ever thought it was a great play. Okay, that leaves me with L and T. So I've got Lot in row A. And that's my opponent out. And the final score, 492 to 341, a comprehensive defeat. Let's see what I missed. And Zuil was the highest scoring play with that rack. Trap 24 and Peddler were the two options I considered. Punji was the highest scoring move. Same without Vi. And with Reki, the highest scoring move isn't always the best move, but in the instances we've covered so far, there hasn't been any other moves which stood out as being better. Amour. Well, amour leaves 2 vowels, meow leaves a vowel and a consonant, so I prefer meow. Now this was where I changed, and I could have played Frau from the F of folioed onto the triple word square at H15 for 30 points, keeping D, Q, R, T. I think that is probably slightly better than changing. Exordia, there was a bingo with this rack. It did play at H14 next to Verdant, so that was a miss. But as I said during the game, scoring 45 points with just the X, or playing Ox, means there's actually very little difference between the move I played and the bingo, so this isn't an expensive miss. Re-edify was the bingo ending with a Y and the only one, and then a whole bunch of alternatives playing in rows, in columns 13 and 14. Column 13, that means it was parallel to folioed rather than next to Verdant. Hode for 47, and I could have played Doll for 40, and I suspect Doll for 40 would have been better because the leave of EGT was playable in 2 places, so Doll would have been much better. And God was the highest scoring play with that rack. Okay, well, that was an interesting game. I got hammered, and that happens however well you play. That can sometimes happen. The important thing is to focus on playing as well as you can with the letters that you've got. So I hope you enjoyed watching that game. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.